Welcome to a new update. And today we're going to discuss a few altcoins, but we're also going to discuss some news. And we're discussing an additional small market update regarding Bitcoin. But first, before we're going to continue, do not forget to subscribe beneath, like the YouTube update, and check out our website where you can get educated on the markets and also trade alongside me, as everything I do, I share in the platform that is on the website beneath. So, when we are looking at the news, we've had some rumors about the ETF coming up in October and November. So people are mentioning it that we're going to get it. We also have some ETPs already. We do have the Canadian ETF, but this is an ETF in the US. And those financial instruments are opening up for institutional investors to start allocating money towards Bitcoin. They don't want to buy Bitcoin themselves because of the liquidity issue that they have. Kevin O'Leary once said about that if you have 1 billion in Bitcoin, you can't easily sell it without having a gigantic spread on, for instance, Binance. So what they want to do is that there will be financial instruments being built through which they can buy into those liquid financial instruments who have Bitcoin as collateral on their balance sheet. So they buy Bitcoin for their balance sheet and then they produce the ETF. So in that regard, all those Grayscale ETFs, ETPs are all being built for those bigger investors to start getting into the markets. And with the latest news, and it's from last night, we see that Morgan Stanley owns over 1 million shares in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which essentially is a sort of ETF, given that Grayscale has the Bitcoins on their balance sheet and you just buy to get your shares. You can't easily sell it, it's locked up, but they do have a position in this fund. So what it's saying, or in this trust, what it's saying is that institutional investors have interest into the markets. And given that they have filed their information towards the SEC, they have the biggest seems to be Morgan's Inside Fund with over 928k worth around 36 million or over 700 Bitcoin, which is nothing compared to their entire balance sheet, but it's showing that institutions have interest. So when we get the actual ETF in the markets, I think it's going to be great for the markets, and it's only going to accelerate the expansion of the entire market cap price-wise, but also fueling additional adoption given that the market cap is increasing. Another news thing is that altcoins or in the ecosystem is building up even more. There's not much more that we can say, but Chainlink price feeds are now live on the Solana DevNet. So Chainlink is an oracle, it produces data, and that data is being used in DeFi to balance out and to get information outside of to get information in decentralized markets, to get prices, etc., or settlements. And they now are running on Solana DevNet, meaning that the ecosystem is getting more integrated. The ecosystem will not only be Ethereum, but it will also have many layer 2s and layer 1s additionally, and all being connected to each other, communicating with each other. And for Chainlink, it's producing the data that is needed on that ecosystem to actually start surviving. And when we talk about ecosystems, there's also one that's heavily running right now, which is Avalanche. We've discussed it earlier this morning, and today at 3 p.m. Central European time, some news came out as Avalanche will be starting to fire up the first projects on Avalanche itself. First one is going to be Yay Protocol from Yay Games, which is an NFT gaming platform or gaming token. And it's the first one of that ecosystem that is going to grow. So we've got Solana ecosystem, we've got hopefully the Cardano ecosystem, we've got the Avalanche ecosystem, Polkadot, Ethereum itself. So we've got a broader perspective of ecosystems starting to build up, and I'm quite happy to see that not only Avalanche is building up nicely, but also other projects are building up nicely, and this is the first one that's going to be launched on Avalanche. We've discussed Avalanche earlier this morning regarding the prices and the potential short-term bounce that we were going to get. I'll be addressing it in a little bit, but first we have to address Bitcoin. And as you can see, Bitcoin has been trying to move a little bit through the day, in which the critical level that Bitcoin has to break through is still this area at 48.2. When we zoom in a little bit more on the 45 minutes, we've got a slight bounce. So I'll just erase this block a little bit so you can see it. We can see that we've had a slight bounce, but we are rejecting at the first level of problems. Let's put it that way. The second level is this entire region, but we are already rejecting. Does it mean that we're going to nosedive even further? Well, the chances are there that we're going to have the corrective move towards this entire support zone at 44k. But we still could be having this bounce towards 48.2. How should I address it? Well, I'm not interested in longing this range at 46.2 as it's too risky for me. It's not a massive support. I think the trend is still down. I really want to see a flip of 48.1 before I'm going to trigger a trade towards the range high around 51. Or I'm going to look for longs here for day trades / swing trades at 44k, as that is the massive support zone. What I want to see here, why I want to see this bounce back up to 48.2, it would give a bearish support resistance flip. And the trend of lower highs, lower lows continues. So in this range, you could actually start looking for a short stop trigger, obviously there, TP in this range. If we do break up, you know that this is a long trigger. So that is how I'm addressing the markets at this point. And we didn't see too many movements, but we do see that Avax is making a slight movement out of here, in which we had this bounce up. So those order blocks and support levels, and this order block is comparable to the order block of 44k at Bitcoin, means that it gives you an entry for a long potentially. We can see that we've got support here, we bounced back up already, and we might be getting another one towards this resistance zone, but the trend remains down. So the trend is still making lower highs, lower lows, and when you're starting to zoom out, you really want to get in any of these two ranges if you're interested in the ecosystem based on the daily time frame. So investment wise, this is probably not the best trade that you want to get, and that is different than what the fundamentals are saying as they are building up right now. If you're looking at day trades, this range, and this range is just where you're looking at for potential trades. Over here you might be looking for a short until we break back up and flip that level. So that is a slight update on Avalanche and the market movements right now. I'll be updating it in the coming days. I hope you have enjoyed this small update, and I'll be back tomorrow with fresh new information for you. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day.